If spirit mediums can converse with ghosts, just imagine what we could do with a spirit lodge. Hey there, kids. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Uncle Frank. Hoping that you are having a great day. And in today's video, we're going to be sitting back in my fairly squeaky chair. I should oil this thing. And we're going to be talking about promos, sweepstakes, bonus cards, the nice little extras that various card game companies have been giving out for the last few decades. Everyone likes free things, right? And in this video, I want to just briefly chat about promo cards and why I think they're nice. Simple as, you know. There are, across the different card games, various incentives players can have for wanting to buy or collect the various card games. You know, sometimes it's you want to be the very best, or you want to fill out a nice fat binder with your collection, or you want to make money down the road. But I'll tell you what, a nice little extra incentive is just a bonus card that you can get for a variety of reasons. And in this video, we're going to talk about three in particular with my really, how fat my sausage fingers are. There are three categories of bonus cards, promo cards, whatever have you, that I think are worth talking about. They're not weighted equally, I think. In fact, one is drastically better than the others, in my opinion. But I think they're all worth at least examining as either a collector of the game or someone who's just kind of curious about what could be out there. So the first one is the largest. It's the bonus cards. Promotional cards you get just for doing the thing you were already doing, buying and playing the game. These can include things like tournament prize pack cards you can get for participation. Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Do these a lot with the OTS tournament packs for Yu-Gi-Oh! The Pokemon play packs, I think they're called, for Pokemon right now. I don't actually remember what they're called. I think it's Pokemon Play. I'm probably wrong. Correct me in the comments. You know, and then in terms of buy box promos, Magic used to do a bunch of buy box promos. Magic is not really doing it right now. Pokemon's tinkering with it. Yu-Gi-Oh! Does the Lost Art promotion where you spend so much money at your stores and they give you a bonus card for spending the money. You know, blister packs for Pokemon come with little extra promo cards. Some extra products come with, sometimes products come with extra bonus cards. ETBs for Pokemon have been coming out with alt art cards for a while now. Pre-release kits for Magic do stamped promo cards with the pre-release date on them. There's a lot of different kinds of bonus cards out there. There's a whole slew of them, and we could sit here for hours, literal hours, talking about all of them if we wanted to. Some are rarer than others just because of how old they are. Some are a bit more desirable than others just because of either the art or the playability of the card. But for the most part, these are easily overlooked, kind of swept under the rug, kind of ignored by the wider collector community just because of how easy it is to get them. If you were playing the game at a certain time, you probably got a hold of these cards. And they're everywhere. That doesn't mean they're bad. In fact, I think companies going out of the way just to give players and collectors just a little bit extra for their time and money, I think that's nice. That is the first category. The second of our three categories is the you're good at this category, where these are prize cards for tournaments, prize cards for major tournaments, or cards you can be awarded for one reason or another for being really good at what you do. You know, this is things like the World Championship cards for Yu-Gi-Oh! Where there's only so many of these given out every year, and they are unplayable, completely unplayable, but they have a nice price tag attached to them because of how rare they are and because of the prestige associated with them, right? I'm talking about things like the cosplay contest cards, the those interesting heroes you can get in Flesh and Blood just for being really good at cosplaying. Those are nice. Those are rare. Only a handful are given out every year, and they are very expensive. I would like one. I do not have the money to get one. You know, I'm talking about things like the illustration contest cards for Pokemon. Every so often, Pokemon holds illustration contests, right? Where you can get cards like, what do you got on the desk here? This Gardevoir, for instance, came from an illustration contest a year or so ago, and sometimes your prize is getting your illustration turned into a card for the game you enjoy. Other times, in addition to getting your art featured on a card, you get a card as a prize. In fact, one of the earliest illustration contests I can think of is the 97-98 Koro Koro contest, and the winners got a special illustration trainer card, supporter card. I forget, it's one of the two, trainer or supporter. I can't remember which one it was called back in the day. It's just Pikachu holding an art brush on the art. Simple looking card, right? Well, it's also really expensive because only like 50 or so were handed out way back in the late 90s. It's been 25 years since these were given out. They're pretty rare, and they have a price tag in like the millions of dollars for a good condition one. If you have a PSA 10 of these, then you're probably looking at a new house if you can get a hold of one. You know, so that's the second kind of category. You're really good at this. Either you're good at playing the game, so you win a world championship prize, you're good at cosplaying the game, or something along those lines, so you get a cosplay contest prize, or you're good at making art for the game, so either you get your art turned into a card, or you get a really expensive prize card. One of those prize cards, one that always comes to mind when I think about tournament prize cards, is for Yu-Gi-Oh! It's called Card of Sanctity, I believe. You see, back in the day, Kids WB held a tournament to commemorate the second season of Yu-Gi-Oh! Battle City. And the prize card for this tournament, for like the 100 people or something, I don't remember the story exactly, but I remember there's only like 100 of these given out. It's Card of Sanctity, which was not a good card. Doesn't have that good of art. But it's fairly rare. And it was only given out at this one tournament. And it's noteworthy for a few things. One, it's pretty expensive for what it is. It's a completely unplayable card. And two, its set code is tied to the movie exclusive pack. And I like the movie exclusive pack. I think I've made that very clear. I have a great love of that set. This card is technically in that set. I don't have a copy of this card because it's so rare and so expensive. Anywho, moving on before I lose my mind over Card of Sanctity. The third, final extra card thing I'm going to talk about is sweepstakes cards. You see from time to time, card game companies, either through their own website or their own catalog or magazine, whatever have you, or partnering up with someone else, they will hold sweepstakes from time to time, where you enter for a chance to win and you'll win a prize. Simple as that. Usually, oftentimes, the prize is something simple, like a box of the new set plus a store credit for TCG Player. TCG Player does a lot of sweepstake contests with a lot of the smaller card games. The only one that really comes to mind recently that I can think of for any of the other major card games is, I guess, Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Did the Blackluster Soldier sweepstakes for their metal Egyptian god cards release, where you enter in and you get a chance to win a Blackluster Soldier. Nice card. That's really it. That's really all I wanted to talk about. There's 3 kinds of promo cards, and I think all 3 of them are kind of neat. Some are rarer than others, and therefore are more desirable than others. Some can have a bit more of a visceral reaction from the community. You know, look at the Van Gogh Pikachu, which was given out for people who went to for an art museum, for a Van Gogh art museum a few years back. People freaked out for that. They flew to another country just to clog up a museum and get as many copies of this Pikachu card as possible. Look at the McDonald's Pikachu for Japan right now, where people were supposedly buying a crapload of Happy Meals just to get a hold of these Pikachu promo cards and then throwing the food out. Supposedly. You know, sometimes bonus cards are like that, where people will be absolutely feral and will do whatever they can to get a hold of them. And sometimes, like with buy a box promos or blister pack promos or whatever have you, People just don't care. And, you know, you can never really predict what people are going to be excited about. You can't really predict the mob mentality and what the greater collector community is going to be super ravenous over. But regardless of what they are ravenous over, you know, bonus cards, promo cards, they're nice to have. And regardless of how they are distributed, whether it's through a contest, through a sweepstakes, through a tournament, through a nice little bonus you get just for spending money at your store, it's nice, I think, that card game companies are willing to go out of their way to incentivize people just that much more to engage with the game they love. Because after all, just giving people a bit more bang for their buck is always nice. I know it's not a perfect world where every single promo is distributed equally and or is worth what you need to do to get it. I know. I understand. But in principle, I like the promo system. I like most promo systems. I don't think I've seen a promotional distribution method that was completely offensive to me. You know, some people complained about how certain promos were only available in a certain way. Like, people complained about the Van Gogh Pikachu. But I don't think that's a problem. I don't think it's a bad thing for Pokemon or Nintendo or... Pokemon is Nintendo. I don't think it's bad for Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Magic to have promos that you can only get for going to or doing a certain thing. I don't think that's a bad thing. In fact, I think that's a good thing. Incentivizing engagement with the side projects you're trying to set up, I think that's a cool thing. You know, once upon a time, Magic the Gathering used to give out promotional cards for their comic books. And sure, none of the promotional cards they gave for their comic books are any good. But I think for the collectors out there, having an extra reason to buy those comic books is nice. They do it now with the Destroy All Humans They Can't Be Regenerated manga, which is really good, and I highly recommend it. It's a good story. And if you buy the volumes new, you get a little promo card with it. It's a foil variant of an older Magic card from back in the day. I don't know where I put them, but I have a stack of them around here somewhere. I like the manga. I like the bonus cards you get with the manga. Would I have bought the manga without the promo card? Yes. Do I still appreciate the promo card that I'm getting just for buying the manga I was already going to buy? Yes. Yes, I do. And that's really the crux of it. You know, it doesn't really cost Wizards of the Coast or Konami or Pokemon all that much to produce a few extra promo cards here and there throughout the year. Whether it's the promo cards you get for prizes, for contests, or whatever have you, it doesn't really cost them a whole lot to do it, right? Not in the grand scheme of things, anyway. But for that small initial upfront cost, they're getting people potentially into their game, potentially interested in collecting, people potentially going to buy a product just to get that nice card. It's a nice little thing at the end of the day, and you, the end consumer, in theory, not perfectly, but in theory, get just a little bit extra for your time and effort and money. And I think that's nice at the end of the day. And that's all I have for you kids today. This is like the third or fourth time I'm recording this video. Originally, I was going to go through a list of like my top 3 or 4 sweepstakes from the various card games, but as I kept trying to record that, I found that it was much more dry than usual, so I ended up with just this kind of this conversational video instead. Let me know what you guys think. In the comment section below, please like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Ciao.